Yes. Good morning to everyone. My name is Shashidhar Reddy, working as Assistant Professor in the department. A mutual fund is a professionally managed investment scheme made up of pool of money collected from many investors to invest in securities like bonds and shares. A mutual fund scheme helps the investor to invest conveniently in different investment avenues such as bonds, securities, etc. And also investment schemes, whatever we are finding, have been managed very professionally, and also through the mutual fund, one can diverse his funds. In view of this one, Department of Studies and Research in Commerce, Devangree University, Devangree, and in collaboration with Association of Mutual Fund of India, a national webinar on personal financial planning and wealth creation through mutual funds have been organized. So for this one, I request Dr. Satyanarayan sir, Chairperson, Department of Studies in Commerce, for welcome address. I request Satyanarayan sir to take over the session.
Yeah, very good morning. Very good morning, one and all. Dear distinguished speaker of the day, guests, students, faculty members, and research scholars. The Department of Studies in Commerce, Devangree University, Devangree, jointly organizing national level webinar on personal financial planning and wealth creation through mutual funds to create awareness on mutual funds. Mutual funds have a successful history in India. It all started with the formation of UTI 1963 with the back step of the Government of India and Reserve Bank of India. Mutual funds has been a significant role in shaping the Indian economy, keep it stable due to diversification of its investment capital. 1996, SEBI has given exemption from the tax those who are invested in the mutual funds. The steady growth in the mutual funds reflected in consistent development of Indian economy, the stability, efficiency, transparency, and inclusion. Very good morning. First of all, I am very happy to welcome the today's speaker of the session, Sri Suryakant Sharmaji, Senior Consultant, AMFI. Welcome you, sir, on behalf of Department of Studies in Commerce, Devangree University, Devangree. Welcome you, sir. And also, I welcome the mentor and professor of our department, Registrar Evaluation of Devangree University, Professor Anita H.S. Madam. Welcome you, madam, on behalf of Department of Studies in Commerce, Devangree University, Devangree.
Thank you.
Welcome you, ma'am. I also welcome all professors, seniors, as well as the juniors for their support to organizing this webinar. Welcome you all. I further welcome all my MCOM students and PhD scholars of the department for their active participation in this webinar. Welcome you all. Over to Shashidhar.
Thank you, sir. Madam, Senior Professor and Registrar Evaluation, Department of Studies in Commerce, Devangree University, Devangree, for inaugural speech. Madam, kindly take over the session, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible, ma'am.
Yes, madam.
Okay. Good morning to all of you. Respected Chairman of the Department, Professor Satyanarayan, all my dear colleagues in the department and student friends who are online, and all the more, the special speaker for the day, Shri Suryakant Sharma, Senior Consultant, AMFI, and former DGM SEBI. I'm enthused to be a part of this academic session, as this is the convergence of theory and practice. I have scribbled a piece of information on today's theme. A very good theme has been kept for today's discussion. Financial planning, especially personal financial planning, is fast becoming an important issue of modern family life. A family that invests together creates opportunities for wealth creation. Mutual funds can play a critical role in financial planning, as we are all aware of the fact that mutual funds enable us to invest in multiple asset classes like bonds, stocks, derivatives, and other financial securities. One can use them for financial planning in many ways. So, for example, mutual funds are meant for diversification. However, it's important while investing in them to make sure the diversification fills the long-term needs of a person's financial plans. Taking advantage of diversification, it's very critical for leveraging mutual fund investments for long-term financial planning. While building any long-term financial plan, it's essential to take notice of highly liquid nature of mutual funds. This liquidity allows for minimal impact of costs, and as is crucial factor too to consider in many emergency plans built into one's long-term financial plans. Sometimes we make use of it as a tax planner. The use of systematic investment plan is essential for long-term financial planning also. It adds value to one's investment over time, partly by reducing costs of holding over time. The longer one stays invested, the larger the benefit he or she would reap. Despite its passive nature, a systematic investment plan makes a mutual funds scheme a large wealth generator. Hence, mutual funds are an investment option that respondents having to be called as a handy tool for long-term financial goals if appropriately leveraged. Mutual funds offer a wide diversification of one's investment portfolio and a host of other benefits. It's important, however, that one should understand one's specific long-term needs before investing in mutual funds, in order to be able to tailor the investment properly to reap maximum benefits possible. Otherwise, they put themselves into a difficulty to assess which is more beneficial. With this brief note, I close this by congratulating Professor Satyanarayan and his team for organizing this talk. I request all the participants to make use of this program. Thanks to one and all.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for throwing light on how important mutual fund to the investors. Now this is a time to invest and introduce our guest speaker, Mr. Shri Suryakant Sharma, Senior Consultant, AMFI, former DGM SEBI. And I request now Dr. Sharandra sir, Assistant Professor, to introduce the guest speaker.
Good morning, everyone. It is my great pleasure to introduce our speaker, Shri Suryakant Sharma. Sir is a commerce graduate and has done his master's in law with a specialization in corporate laws. He is also Chartered Associate of Indian Institute of Banking and Finance. Shri Sharma has over 35 years of experience in banking and finance and securities market, and has served in leading financial institution, thereafter in Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance, Government of India, and finally in SEBI. Shri Sharma joined the Securities and Exchange Board of India in 2003 and served there for more than 15 years in different departments of SEBI. Lastly, in addition to other assignments, he was DGM in charge of Office of Investor Awareness and Education in SEBI's Northern region for more than 5 years. Shri Sharma is also a member of working group of NCERT for developing vocational course on mutual funds for students of class 11th and 12th. Shri Sharma is also a mentor for a few NGOs working for financial literacy and investor awareness in the country. Under his supervision, more than 15,000 financial literacy and investor awareness programs were conducted across North India, and he himself has addressed as guest speaker in more than 600 investor awareness programs. After superannuation from SEBI in 2019, he has joined Association of Mutual Funds in India as Senior Consultant North India. With this, I welcome you, sir, to the today's webinar. Looking forward to your session. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Saranraj. Thank you very much for introducing me to the participants. I am overwhelmed to thank you and Dr. Anita ma'am, who has spared her time to join this program because she's a senior professor and she must be having a lot of other engagements as well. Thank you, ma'am, for joining this program.
Thank you, sir.
I'm also thankful to Dr. Satyanarayana for organizing this program for your university and particularly for your departments and all the participants. I'm also thankful to all the organizing team members who have worked very hard for getting maximum registration for this program. And I hope I will try to justify their investment of time in this program. I will try to make it as sincerely as I can. 2-3 things I wish to mention about this program before I start my session. The first is this program is from Association of Mutual Funds in India, Amfi, which is an apex body of mutual funds in India. But my dear participants, I want to make it very clear. This is not a marketing event or a promotional event of mutual funds. Because people should not construe that I would be marketing mutual funds. Mutual fund is one of the products of investment, definitely. And I will talk on mutual fund also in the last page of my session. But ma'am, this is purely an investor awareness program. And there are 2 categories of investors. One category like you and me and your faculty members who are already earning. And the other category of investors, those who are potential investors, not earning today, but they are going to earn very soon down the line in 2-3 years. So they are all, I also treat them as investors. So we should also equip them with a basic knowledge of savings and investment and importance of investment in their life and for wealth creation. That is why I will try to focus on both the categories of investors. Secondly, as this program is for the participants, particularly students, I will request them, please keep a notebook and pen with them, and they can note down anything they found, new idea or a new information, which they can explore further into through Google and websites. Because ma'am, you will appreciate now everything, we are flooded with the information. So these programs are basically sensitizing programs. These programs are basically to encourage investors to take informed decision about their money and about their investments. And thirdly and lastly, I will be more than happy if more and more questions come from the participants, because that will be a reflection that they have taken interest in the subject, they have got interest in the subject, and they have done some doubts, they have some queries. So I welcome all of you. Please keep posting your questions in the chat box. Dr. Satyanarayana and his team will take care of those questions when my session is over. And after my session is over, we will also keep the town hall open. Anybody can just raise the hand and ask the question directly. And Dr. Satyanarayana, I would be obliged if 4 or 5 videos are on during my session. Because if all videos are off, sometime a feeling creeps in to whom we are talking to, when you will appreciate. That is why I will request Dr. Satyanarayana and his team members, at least not all, but only 4 or 5 videos should be on. Dr. Satyanarayana has given me this topic of personal financial planning, wealth creation, and mutual funds. And Dr. Satyanarayana, I want to request you, and rather you will appreciate that this, I wouldn't be able to justify this long topic in a session of 1.5 hours. Because normally personal finance and wealth creation itself, ma'am, will take not less than 2 hours. And mutual fund itself is a topic which requires knowledge to be shared, not in a capsulized form, but a basic details I have to offer. So I will try to squeeze as much as I can the knowledge which I have to be shared with the participants within a span of 1.5 hours or so. And before coming to the mutual fund, my dear participants, I wish to, if Dr. Satyanarayana and his team can open his video, open their videos, I want it to be an interactive session. I will keep involving them, asking their basic questions from them, and then taking answers from them, so that it can be interactive. It should not be a one-way traffic, ma'am, that I speak and go. People should actively participate, particularly core team members. They should participate in an active form in this session. So, my dear participants, and ma'am also will appreciate that money is an integral part of our life. Rather, sometimes, ma'am, money plays a very, very important part in our life. और एक बात आपने सुनी होगी कि या तो खुदा है या पैसा है. Either the money, or either the God or the money. Money is not God at all, but not less than God most of the times. Because everything we live, we need money for. That is a fact of our life. So money is very, very important aspect of our life. But Dr. Satyanarayana, can you tell me what money gives us? Why most of us, may not be all, but why most of us are passionate about the money? Money, more money, and more money. Can you tell me, sir, what money gives us? Dr. Satyanarayana, are you here?
Shall I answer, sir?
Ma'am, please, welcome, welcome.
To improve the standard of living.
Absolutely, you are absolutely right, ma'am. And broadly speaking, ma'am, money gives us two basic things in our life. The first is prosperity, which includes what you have just told. And the second aspect of the second use of the money is to have security in our life. So money gives us prosperity, and money also gives us security. And ma'am, prosperity have 3 stages in normal human beings' life. When we don't have anything, suppose we don't have anything, then what is prosperity, ma'am? To take care of my basic needs. Roti, kapda, makan. If anybody doesn't have anything, then the first thing which will come in their mind is, bhai, mujhe roti, kapda, makan mil jaye. And once they get roti, kapda, makan, basic needs, he feel I am prosper. I am okay. He is happy, or she is happy. But ma'am, you will appreciate that human nature is different. We don't stop anywhere. Once my basic needs are met, then I think of having some comfort in my life. Very, very honestly, all of us. Then we think of having some comfort. I should have a reasonable house. I should have a reasonable vehicle, and at home some basic appliances should be there to make my life comfortable. That is there. And most of us, perchance, ma'am, also get like this. Most of us, at least today. But even then we don't stop. Even then we don't stop. Most of people will then think of having a luxurious life. A palatial house, a fancy car, costly car, or somebody will even dream of having a helipad near to his home with a helicopter, so he can roam around wherever he wants. This is the things like this only. The third stage is people go. The third stage, human beings, the prosperity means luxurious life. So these are the stages in our life. And so money gives us prosperity. But ma'am, you will appreciate that money also gives us security. And security, rather, every human beings need first before prosperity even. Because we think of security not only of myself, but my family as well. So at times, security comes first in most of the time. And we try to develop security for myself and for our family initially when we have basic needs met. But ma'am, one thing you will appreciate, that security will come through money only when we have plenty of money. Suppose I have 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs in my bank account, I will not feel secure. Even my family will not secure. But if perchance, ma'am, after some years, you will have 100 crore in your bank account, then normally a feeling will come in, okay, no, Baba, no problem at all. Now I have got the good money in my bank account with me. I feel secure. If anything happens to me or my family, I will take care of with that money I have. So, my dear participants, money gives us security only when we have plenty of money. But unfortunately, ma'am, you will appreciate people like you and me, middle class person particularly, wouldn't be having that much of money in our life. More particularly when we are in service. People might have plenty of money through profession, businesses, startup, industry, all these things. But those who are service class people will hardly have that much money in their life. So the natural question which comes in my mind then, how I can develop security for myself and for my family. That is very natural. Natural. Because I don't have plenty of money, but still I want security. How it can be? Yes, my dear participants, and particularly young participants, I want to assure you, please do develop these three things in your life at the beginning of your career. And these three things, my dear participant, will give you security only. It is not connected with your prosperity. Prosperity will talk later on. But these three things you must do at the beginning of your career. And these three things, I again repeat, will give you security only. The first and foremost thing, my dear young participants, is, and ma'am might also agree with me, every earning person must have adequate life insurance cover. I am using two words, my dear participant, life insurance cover, but it has to be adequate. Ma'am might have taken life insurance cover. I had also taken, ma'am, in our times, but that was grossly inadequate. A life insurance cover of 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs has got no meaning at all, because it is not going to serve the purpose for which we take life insurance cover. Life insurance cover has to be adequate. So first we should understand what is the importance of having life insurance cover, why we should take it. My dear participants, we all know that life is pretty uncertain. Ma'am, we are okay today, everything is okay, my family is enjoying everything, my kids are getting education, everything going on very well. But what will happen tomorrow? Am I sure? Can anybody give me guarantee? Nobody can give guarantee. You can live for 100 years together. That's a different story. But even for tomorrow, life is pretty uncertain. And that uncertainty, ma'am, sometimes kills us. If fear develops in our mind all the time, what will happen to my family if I'm not to them tomorrow? What? How my kids will get education? How my family will pay EMI, which I am paying today for loans, how their monthly expenses will be taken care of, how their family obligation will be met. All these things always be in mind, whether I tell it or not. That is why, to overcome that fear side, we take life insurance cover, that in case, because of that, unfortunate it is, but because of that, I'm not available to my family tomorrow. My family will definitely have emotional problems. My family will definitely have social problems, but they should not at least have financial problem. There should not be a dominant question come before them, how monthly expenses will be met next month. From where I will get, because I am the only, and more so, ma'am, when I am the only earning member in my family. When I am the only earning member of my family, this fear is more predominant in my mind. So first, my dear participants, please do consider taking adequate life insurance cover. And ma'am, in our times, the life insurance product was money back and endowment. They were basically not insurance product purely, very honestly speaking. They were saving linked insurance products. And agent will come to us, give us a rosy picture of you will get this much of money after this much of months if you survive, and if you are no more, then your family will get this or that. But the life insurance insurance cover premium in money back and endowment, my dear participants, is very high, and hardly any person will be able to take adequate life insurance cover. That is why, ma'am, Perchance young generation is very lucky. Nowadays, a pure insurance product is available in the market, which young generation should consider taking life insurance cover. And the product name is term insurance, TERM, term insurance. My dear participants, term insurance is a pure insurance product where a person can have reasonable or adequate life insurance cover by paying a monthly premium of reasonable amount. Suppose a person is of the age of between 25 to 30 years, he or she can take a life insurance cover of 1 crore rupees by paying a monthly premium of hardly 500 or 600 rupees, which anybody can afford. But if you go for the money back and endowment, the same premium for 1 crore rupee life insurance cover will be not less than 40,000-50,000 a month, which most of us wouldn't be able to take. So please do consider taking life insurance cover through term insurance, and it has to be adequate. And what is the definition of adequacy, my dear participants? It should be minimum 10 times of your annual income. And Anita ma'am, I know you have not taken that level of life insurance cover. Most of us, we have not taken. Your life insurance cover, my dear young participants, should be not less than minimum 10 times of your annual income. Suppose your annual income is 20 lakhs, then ideally speaking, you should take a life insurance cover of not less than 2 crore rupees. Because that money is going to serve the purpose for which we are taking life insurance cover. So please do take life insurance cover, is a must. Please take adequate life insurance cover, and don't link your life insurance cover with your investment. Keep it separate. Investment is separate thing. Insurance is separate. Keep it separate. Take life insurance cover through term insurance and go for the investment for other products, which we will discuss afterwards. And in life insurance cover, early you take, lesser will be the premium. This is also a basic principle of life insurance cover. So please don't keep deferring the decision of taking life insurance cover. Normally what happens, young people normally think, Arey Baba, what is the need of having life insurance cover? I'm quite young. Why I should take life insurance cover? I will consider it after 10-15 years. No, my dear friend, that is a wrong perception. It is a wrong thinking if you have that thinking. Because if you take life insurance cover early, your premium will be much, much lesser. If you keep deferring it for 10-15 years, even that life insurance cover through term insurance, the premium will be much, much higher, and you wouldn't be able to take adequate life insurance cover. So please do take life insurance cover. It should be through term insurance, and it should be taken as early as you start earning. Rather, ideally speaking, in the first year of your job itself. Second thing I want to request to all of you regarding, again, limited to security only, and Anita ma'am might agree with me. Every family must have adequate health insurance cover. And ma'am, life insurance cover is different and health insurance cover is different. People do get confused. Some people say, well, I have taken life insurance cover. Why I should take health insurance cover? My dear participants, life insurance cover is different and health insurance cover is different, and both serve different purposes in our life, and both are essential. They are not supplement to each other. They are independent life, but both are essential. Health insurance cover, ma'am, we should take. Why? Because if a serious disease might discover in my body all of a sudden, or I might unfortunately met with an accident, in those eventualities, I will be forced to go to the best hospital. And ma'am, unfortunately, it is unfortunately state of affair in India that even after 75 years of independence, which we are celebrating this year, our governmental health system is not up to mark. Unfortunately, and it ought to be, but it is not. So we will be forced to go to the private hospitals. But there the problem is different. Their charges are exorbitant. If a person remain in the hospital for 10, 12, 15 days, they might raise a bill of no more than 10 lakhs. From where that money will come? Because I can't avoid treatment. I have to go to the best hospital. So, friend, if I don't have health insurance cover, whatever expenses of a private hospital I will have to pay out of my some investment I had to withdraw, or might raise some temporary loan from my friends and relations, that both would be painful. But if I take health insurance cover, all my medical hospital expenses will be directly paid by the insurance company from whom I have taken health insurance cover to the hospital. I can go to the best hospital, get the best treatment, come home recovered without paying anything. That is the purpose and benefit of having health insurance cover. And nowadays, my dear participants, if unique health insurance policy is available in the market, the policy name is Floater, Floater, Floater Health Insurance Cover. It is also called Umbrella Health Insurance Cover. In this typical unique health insurance cover, ma'am, what happens when I take this health insurance cover? I have got the leverage of including my spouse name. I have got the leverage of including my kids and even my parents. So I can include all my family members in the one health insurance cover which I am taking. And if anything happens with any of the family members or medical emergency arises, they can go to the best hospital, get the best treatment, come home recovered without paying anything. So that is why for health insurance, floater health insurance cover or umbrella health insurance cover is an ideal health insurance policy. And here again, ma'am, early you take, lesser will be the premium. Because if you take it at the young age, your premium will be much lesser. And it should be adequate. Here the adequacy definition is, if you are in metros like Bangalore, Hyderabad, Delhi, Mumbai, Calcutta, then your family must have a floater health insurance cover, ma'am, of not less than 25 lakhs. But if you are a relatively 2-tier, 3-tier city, then you can have 10-15 lakhs health insurance cover for your whole family. And here again, early you take, lesser will be the premium. And for both the life insurance cover and health insurance cover premium, ma'am, income tax reductions are allowed under Income Tax Act. But that is an incidental benefit. Don't take life insurance cover and health insurance cover only for availing the benefit of income tax exemption. That will automatically come. That we will do. But the purpose of having life insurance cover and health insurance cover is much, much greater and bigger in our life than exemption limits. So the second thing is, take adequate health insurance cover for the whole family. And third and the last thing about security I want to tell, every family must have an emergency fund of around 5 lakhs with them all the time. Naturally, ma'am, you will ask me what is the purpose of having emergency fund. But at the same time, you are aware, we have passed through a very, very tough time. Pandemic is still there. In pandemic, lakhs of people, ma'am, had lost job. Lakhs of people have got substantial reduction in their income. Businesses were closed, professions were closed for months together, and people had passed through lakhs of family had passed through a very, very tough time. But this tough time has taught us a lesson, my dear participants, that this corona may recur again, may explode again, or some other disease may come, or some emergency may come in our family life. So in case of that sort of situation, at least I am able to manage my family affairs for minimum 9 months to 1 year. My family expenses should be secured. For that, I will request all participants, every family must have an emergency fund of around 5 lakhs. And ma'am, 5 lakhs is not a small amount for all of us, but we can develop it over a period of time, maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years, maybe 4 years. But once it is developed, then we have to make a promise with ourselves, taking our family into confidence that this is an emergency fund only. It will be used only for emergencies. It is not a fund for selling, because once you have 5 lakhs, your family will keep pressurizing you. Go on vacation, have some celebration. Natural, that is very natural. No, but we should be very particular that this emergency fund is meant only for emergencies. Otherwise, you can keep it in some bank FD. Don't keep 5 lakh at your home in currency form. Have some bank FD with a good bank. Reasonable return will also be coming to you, and you can withdraw at any time when any emergency. So third thing is, please do develop an emergency fund for 5 lakhs rupees. Again, I repeat, my dear participant, first, adequate life insurance cover, adequate health insurance cover, and third, an emergency fund of around 5 lakhs. And these three things will give you mental security. And once you develop this security for you and your family, then definitely we should think of going forward for the prosperity aspect of the life. Now, ma'am, can you just tell me what is normally the main source of income for all of us? Normally, salary. Mostly those who are in service, salary is the main source of, even for business and professions, their profession income and business is the main source. So salary is the main source for most of us. And what we do with the salary, ma'am? A majority of our salary goes into taking care of our monthly and regular expenses. Every month, majority of it. But, ma'am, you will appreciate that we Indians have a typical DNA, rather a unique DNA. And it is a very great thing we have. What is that? Most of the Indians, may or she be earning 10,000 or 10 lakhs. Every Indian family sincerely try to take away some money out of their income, which they don't spend. They sincerely try. Of course, it is difficult nowadays because of inflationary trends and all this, but still every family tries. Even a person who is earning 10,000 rupees will try to take away 500 rupees or 700 rupees or whatever it may be, which they don't spend. And the money which we don't spend out of our income, ma'am, no, we call it savings. उसे हम बचत कहते हैं. We call it saving, and we are all savers. We Indians have a unique DNA. Every Indian family, and we, ma'am, you must be aware, Indians are still one of the best savers in the world. It is in our blood. It is in our blood. So we are still one of the best savers of the world. But one thing lacks with us. We are casual about saving. Casual in the sense, this month I am saving 10,000 a month. Next month it might be 12,000. Third month it might be 8,000. Fourth month it may even be 0. Of course, region might be there. I am not going to the region. But we are not regular and disciplined as far as savings are concerned. And my dear young participant, particularly, I want to tell you one thing very, very specific, but emphatic. Please identify an amount of saving which you can do comfortably out of your income. And ma'am, I am not prescribing anything. Normally people do prescribe, have 20% saving, do 30% saving. I am not prescribing. What I am saying is, please do identify a saving which you can comfortably do. Suppose somebody says that his income is 50,000 a month and his monthly expenses are around 40,000. Then what he indirectly telling us is he can save 10,000 a month. So then my request is very simple but emphatic. Save this 10,000 every month religiously. Of course, tough, but not impossible. I know it is a tough task, but not impossible. And my dear participant, please do understand the importance of regular saving. It is one of the most important basis for your wealth creation, for your prosperity. So please identify an amount of saving and then religiously save that amount, come what may. This commitment has to be there. Of course, again, I tell ma'am, it is a tough task, but not an impossible task. Once it come in our habit for next 1 year or 6 months, 1 year, then it will keep on going. So it is a matter of developing this habit. So firstly, identify an amount of saving. And second thing about saving is, please keep increasing your saving minimum by 10% every year. Again, ma'am, it is possible. We get increments, we get allowances, our income keep increasing. Even business age and profession people do get increase in their income. So with the increase in income, we must keep increasing our saving every year. Ideally, it should be 10% if you can do. Suppose this year you are doing 10,000 a month, then next year you should do it 11,000 a month. And third year, it should be 12,100 like on. Again, I tell you, my dear participants, it is not an easy task, but we have to do some tough task to be prosper. Prosperity will not come on platter for middle class, salary class person. Ma'am, you will appreciate. We have to work hard for that. And that this is also working very hard. If we develop some discipline in our life that we will do some saving every month, which we have identified, and then keep increasing our saving minimum by 10% every year. So the second thing is keep increasing your saving by 10%. So we are all savers, we are all doing it. But ma'am, normally what we do with the savings which we have, normally what we do, there are two options available with us, normally. One option is a foolish person like me will only do. That option is, I am doing religiously some saving, whatever it may be, maybe 10,000, whatever it may be. But what foolishly I am doing, I am withdrawing the money from my bank account where I am getting salary, counting it, feel myself happy, putting that money at home in a box. Every month I am doing religiously. Or I am leaving Dr. Satyanarayana this saving into my bank account. My dear participants, if any of the participants, particularly earners, those who are already earners, doing this practice, please stop it at once. Because ma'am, it is a gross injustice to ourselves, to our family, and to our country as a whole. We should never put our savings into box at a home in currency or live in a bank account. But there is other option. That option is there. The option is putting our savings into, number one, acquisition of some assets, value of which will increase in future. And in some financial instrument, which will give us regular and periodical return in future. And Dr. Satyanarayana, you know it very well what it is. The process of putting your savings into some assets acquisition or in some financial instrument, ma'am, it is called investment. It is called investment. So saving is the first step, second investment is the second step. We should not necessarily have to be saver, because without saving, what we will invest? But we should not stop at saving only. We have to invest our savings. So saving is the first step, investment is the second step, and both are complement to each other, because if you save and don't invest, better not to save. Enjoy with your money. So we have to be investor, and ma'am, you will appreciate all of us are also investors. We are putting our money. Whoever are earning, students should also understand that whoever is earner is putting their money into one or other investment option. So we are all investors also. But one thing, Dr. Satyanarayana, I don't know whether you will agree with me or not, but ma'am might agree with me. Most of the middle class, please understand, this is a very important thing I am telling now. Ma'am, most of the middle class, salary class person, despite their sincere efforts in saving and investment, they just remain money accumulators in their life. They don't become wealth creators. Please do understand, this is very important. Most of us, we do save and we do invest. But even after that, we just remain money accumulators. We don't become wealth creators. And my dear participants, your prosperity will come only through wealth creation. It will never come through money accumulation. Please understand that at the beginning of your life, because still you are not earning. We have passed over, we have enjoyed our life, whatever it may be. But those who are students must understand that your prosperity will come through wealth creation only. It will never come through money accumulation. So first we should understand the difference between money accumulation and wealth creation. And Dr. Satyanarayana, kindly permit me to take your name. I'm just sharing one simple example with all the participants, taking Dr. Satyanarayana's name only. Suppose Dr. Satyanarayana ma'am has got 1 lakh rupees with him. Of course, he has got much more money than that. But just for example's sake, I say that he has got 1 lakh rupees with him. And he goes for a bank FD, bank fixed deposit for 1 year. And FD, ma'am, you will appreciate, is also an investment. So he goes for a 1 year bank FD with a good bank. And nowadays, the present rate of interest on FD, ma'am, around 5.5%, maybe 6%, take it 6%, ideally. So 6% interest is there. So Dr. Satyanarayana goes for 1 year bank FD for 1 year at the rate of 6%. After 1 year, myself and ma'am just meet Dr. Satyanarayana, just ask him, sir, what happened to your FD? Satyanarayana is smiling, ma'am, he is happy. He says that he has earned 6,000 rupees as bank interest on my FD, and bank has given me back my money. He's right. But when I ask him, Satyanarayana, sir, are you right? He said, I am absolutely right. You can see my passbook. I got the credit of 6,000 rupees as bank interest income, and 1 lakh rupees has been given back by the bank. Sir, you are right, but you are not right. You are right because you got 6,000 rupees, but you are not right because you literally ignored, ma'am, two very important factors, which all of us mostly do, while analyzing return on your investment. And the first and foremost factor, my dear Satyanarayana sir, is inflation. Mehangai is the most important factor which we normally ignore while analyzing return. And ma'am, what is inflation? Simply speaking, inflation is nothing but increase in the prices of goods, item or services over a period of time. समय के साथ चीजों की, वस्तुओं की, सेवाओं की कीमतें बढ़ जाना ही महंगाई है. Am I right, ma'am? Normally speaking, inflation like this only. So suppose Dr. Satyanarayana had got 1 lakh rupees last year. Instead of going for bank FD, he had he purchased some items or might have availed some services from 1 lakh rupees, ma'am, would he be able to get same item, same services after 1 year at 1 lakh rupees? Would he able? No, he will not be able, because of inflation, prices of those items or services have increased naturally. And suppose the inflation rate has been 5% during this particular 1 year. What does it simply means? It simply means that last year, Satyanarayana, whatever he could have purchased from 1 lakh rupees for the same item, same goods and same services, after 1 year, he will need to pay not 1 lakh rupees, but 1,05,000 rupees. Am I right, ma'am? Normally speaking. Now you see the proposition. He was very happy when he earned 6,000. But ma'am, in reality, out of 6,000, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation. His spirit had dampened now. He said, okay, sir, you have taken my 5,000 out of 6,000, but still I have got 1,000 rupees. No, sir. One more factor is there which we normally ignore. Ma'am, most of the income and return are taxable under Income Tax Act. Most of them, even in our salary and income, whatever we get. With regard to FD, people might not be aware, whatever, ma'am, you earn as bank interest on your FD has to be included in your income. There is no exemption of 10,000. 10,000 is your SB account only, savings account only. Whatever you earn on FD has to be included in your income and in your income tax return, and you have to pay tax as per your slab. Suppose Dr. Satyanarayana 20% slab. So he will have to pay 20% on 6,000 as income tax as well. 20%, ma'am, comes around 1,200 rupees. Now you see the proposition. Out of 6,000, he earned as bank interest. 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation, and he has to pay 1,200 rupees as income tax. Did he get anything in reality, ma'am? No. Rather, 200 rupees has gone out of his pocket. Please do appreciate it. Out of the 200 rupees, so you got nothing. And in this scenario, Dr. Satyanarayana is sheer money accumulator. He got the money. 6,000 interest is okay. But in reality, ma'am, he got nothing. I take this example forward, ma'am, and suppose Dr. Satyanarayana, the rate of interest is 8%. Suppose. In that scenario, you will earn 8,000 as bank interest income. Am I right, sir? And out of 8,000, again, keeping inflation at 5%, 8,000 will be eaten by the inflation. Now, the remaining 3,000 out of, you will have to pay 20% income tax on 8,000, that is 1,600. But even after that, ma'am, there remain 1,400. And that 1,400 is your real income. My dear participant, please do understand, unless and until we earn some real return on our investments, we are sheer money accumulators. And unfortunately, ma'am, most of the investment of the middle class, salary class person are like this only. We are happy whatever we get, but that is your notional income, ma'am. That is your notional income. And my dear student, please note it down, the formula of real return. Real return equal to notional return, that is 6,000 or 8,000, minus inflation, minus tax liability, if any. So we have to earn some real return on our investment, my dear friends, to be wealth creator. And please, again, I repeat with emphasis, you will be prosper only through wealth creation, not through money accumulation. So please, young participants, those who are faculty members here, please go home today and analyzing all your investments, whether you are earning some real return on your investment or not. If you are not, then you are share money accumulators. Please try to go out of it and try to earn some real return on it. Now the next question arises, ma'am, why it is so that most of the middle class, salary class person are money accumulators? Why? There has to be some reason. Yes, Dr. Satyanarayana, reason is there, and that reason is deep rooted in our mind, not outside somewhere, it is in our mind. And ma'am knows it very well. What is the reason, ma'am? Most of the middle class, salary class person don't want to take any risk. Arey Baba, risk ki baat mat karo.
Risk doesn't.
Yes, sir.
Arey Baba, risk ki baat mat karo.
Risk.
Don't talk about the risk. This is your perception, deep-rooted thinking
Only
in your mind.
returns.
Arey Baba, ma'am, when my session reaches here, there may be 2-3 messages in the chat box. So don't talk about the risk. Tell us something about the safe investment. My dear young participants, I know Dr. Anita will not agree with me, but the hard fact of the life is that in investment, mom, there is no concept of safe investment. There is no concept, except some governmental scheme. We will discuss that up, except some few governmental scheme when there is no risk. In most of the investments, my dear participants, risk is there. In some products, risk is higher. In some product, risk may be moderate. In some product, risk may be even minimum, but risk is there. So please first accept. I am telling it to young participants particularly, not to Anita ma'am, because she's a senior professor, I can't tell her. But to young participants, I can tell, my dear participants, please do understand and appreciate and accept that in most of the investment, risk is there. Because once you accept, then there is a possibility you will thinking how to manage my risk, how to minimize my risk, because then you will definitely think over this. How I can minimize my risk? How I can manage my risk? Yes, my dear participants, we can manage your risk, we can minimize your risk, but again, risk can never be zero. Except some governmental scheme, risk can never be zero. Some degree of risk will always be there. So how we can manage our risk? My dear participant, I just give you a very simple 2-word formula. Very simple. Please note it down. And noting down on the paper or notebook is not going to serve the purpose at all. You have to imbibe that formula in your mind. You have to practice that formula. And the formula, Satyanarayana sir, is very simple. First, I will speak in Hindi and then in English. Soch kar, samajh kar, nivesh kar. Think, understand, and invest. I have used only 2 words, Satyanarayana sir. First is think. We have to think 2 things about ourselves. We have to think 2 things about ourselves. The first thing is, sir, what is my risk appetite? How much risk I can take? And Dr. Satyanarayana sir, every individual has got different risk appetite. Every individual. Because our income is different, our family obligations are different, our social structure is different in which we are living. Everything is different. So every individual has got different risk appetite. And one more thing, Dr. Satyanarayana, risk appetite is not a constant factor in our life. It keeps changing with the age. When we are young, we can take higher risk. When we cross 40, our risk-taking capacity has become lower. But when we cross 50, 55, we literally hardly have any risk-taking capacity. That is why I keep telling my young participants, or rather encourage them to take a risk. But sir, that risk has to be calculated, and that risk has to be according to your risk appetite. Normally what happened, Anita ma'am, normally middle class person made some mistake. I don't know, Anita ma'am might have also made it. We all have done it. What is that? We follow others on our investment decisions normally, particularly our colleagues and staff. Suppose Anita ma'am is filling some application for an investment, and Dr. Satyanarayana goes there and just ask ma'am, what you are doing? Ma'am says there is a good investment product which has come in. I have got some surplus money, so I am putting my money in that investment product. Dr. Satyanarayana knows it very well that Dr. Anita ma'am is a very smart investor. Wherever she is investing must be a good product.
Motivated.
So what he normally feel, okay ma'am, I have also got money, I also invest. This is a blunder we all do, my dear friends, sir. This is a blunder we all do, because Dr. Anita has got different risk appetite. Dr. Satyanarayana has got different risk appetite. So we should never follow others, even your relations, your friends, your colleagues, in investment decision, because Dr. Anita ma'am, our risk appetite is individual to us. So we have to follow our risk appetite while taking our investment decision. Second thing is time horizon of investment. We have to think about it. Time horizon, and Dr. Satyanarayana, it is very important factor, but again we hardly give credence to this factor. Normally what happens, Dr. Satyanarayana, when I get some money, I invest it. Normally. But that is again a wrong notion, because Dr. Satyanarayana, we will need money in our life, not in one go. Anita ma'am will appreciate. We will need money in our life, not in one go. We will need money at many intervals for many times in our life. Because Dr. Satyanarayana, we have got lot of milestones in our life where we will need money, rather huge money. So time horizon of investment is very important. And for that, again, Dr. Satyanarayana, kindly permit me to take your name. Next Sunday, please sit with your family members, request your family members and sit with them. Request all of them to sit with you. Discuss with them what are the major milestones in your life. Discuss with them. And after discussing with them, take one paper, make 3 columns on the paper, first column, second column, and third column. And in the first column, Dr. Satyanarayana, please jot down what are the milestones in your life which you have crystallized after discussions. Normally, what are the milestones in our life, Dr. Satyanarayana? Marriage is the first milestone in our life. Then after marriage, birth of the children come next, celebration. Then purchase of the house for the family is a very natural thing. Every family do it and wish to do it. Third one is purchase of a 4-wheeler if you don't have by that time. Then Dr. Satyanarayana and Dr. Anita ma'am, one more new milestone now coming in the life of young people like Mr. Shashidhara, which was not in my time at least, and in the time of Dr. Anita even. And that is Mr. Shashidhara is going on vacation. Every family wants to go on vacation. Every family. Rather, they will force you to go out of your Karnataka, out of your city to go to other states and beyond India as well. So vacation has also become a very important factor, important milestone. And then after some years, your children are grown up, Mr. Shashidhara. Then what is next milestone? Higher education and professional education of children is one of the most important milestone in our life. After education is over, what is the next milestone? Marriage of the children is again a normal thing. Marriage of children is the next milestone. And the last and the most important milestone, my dear Shashidhara, because you are young, that is I am taking your name again and again. Last and important milestone is leading or living retirement life. A time will come when you get retired. After retirement, what is the pinching point is? We will not be getting salary which we are getting today every month. Once we retire, salary will not be credited in your bank account by your employer. So how will lead our retirement life normally? We accumulate huge amount for the retirement life, and we also get some superannuation benefits which we club with that corpus, and we invest that corpus, get some regular return, and we live on the strength of that regular income. So retirement life and developing a retirement corpus, Dr. Satyanarayana, is also very, very important milestone in our life. So please, in the first column, Dr. Shashidhara, after discussion with the family, in the first column, please jot down the milestones in your life. If I have missed anything, if I have not included any of the milestone, you have at liberty to include that also. So please jot down all the milestones in your life in the first thing. Then after that, in the second column, my dear participant, please put the period when that milestone is likely to happen in your life. Again, idea only, precisely, of course, it can't be done, Shashidhara sir. But ideally, you suppose somebody say that he is not married, but he is likely to be married after 2 years. Put it 2 years against marriage milestone. Likewise, 2 years, then birth of the children, 3.5 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. Against each milestone, just a broad idea. Put the period when that milestone is likely to happen. And the third column, very, very important column, Dr. Satyanarayana. Now start putting the money which you will need for each milestone. Again, idea only, Dr. Shashidhara. It will not be precisely possible to put any amount, but just a broad idea, just an estimate. Suppose somebody says that he likely to be married after 2 years. All other marriage expenses will be taken care of by their parents. Normally, it do happen, Dr. Anita ma'am. But for honeymoon package, I have to purchase honeymoon package minimum. And for that, Mr. Shashidhara will need not less than 5 lakhs. Just example, 5 lakhs. If he is still unmarried. I don't know whether he is married or not.
Still unmarried, sir.
Great, sir. So great. Then you are likely to be married after 2 years. All the best. So put it 5 lakhs against the marriage. But my dear Shashidhara sir, and Anita ma'am will also agree, it will not be 5 lakhs. Because today you are envisaging it will be 5 lakhs. But after 2 years, when you go for the honeymoon package, because of inflation, it might be 5.50 lakhs or so. So please factor in your inflation in the amount which you are envisaging for each milestone. And 2 very important milestones, my dear Shashidhara, I am discussing with all of you. The first and foremost and most important milestone, Anita ma'am, in our life is higher education and professional education of children. Very important thing in every parent's life. Suppose Mr. Shashidhara today MBA degree from a reputed and good institution cost around 20 lakhs. Am I right, ma'am? Around 20 lakhs. But Mr. Shashidhara, have you ever thought what will be the cost of higher education of your children after 25 years? My dear friend, it will be not less than 2 crore rupees per child. The MBA degree, Anita ma'am, which is costing around 20 lakhs today, will cost not less than 2 crore rupees after 20-25 years. And Shashidhara sir, per chance you have 2 children, then minimum 4 crore for your higher education of your children. Minimum, I am telling you, maybe more than that even. Then last important milestone, Anita ma'am, is retirement life. Unfortunately, I don't know whether Anita ma'am institution has got pension in it, but even when it has, young people will not be having pension, ma'am. You will appreciate. Now, pension is gone. Older people like you and me will be getting pension. We will be privileged, but now pension will not be available. So how Mr. Shashidhara will survive after retirement? The only option he has got is to develop a huge corpus for retirement, including some superannuation benefit he has. And Shashidharan sir, what corpus you should develop? Suppose you say, Shashidhara sir, your age is 30 today, and you say that my monthly expenses are around 30,000. You can manage your affairs with 30,000. But my dear friend, after 30 years, when you become 60 and retire, have you ever thought what will be your monthly expenses at that time? You might have not thought it, but I just want to give you a cuddling.
3.5
My dear friend, it will be not less than 2 lakh rupees per month for the same standard of living. Your monthly expenses today 30,000 only, my dear friend. But after 30 years, for the same standard of living, you will need not less than 2 lakh rupees per month. Means around 25 lakhs per year. So your retirement corpus should generate a revenue or income not less than 25 lakhs. That much of retirement corpus you should develop. So what is the formula of that? Your retirement corpus, my dear friend, should be minimum 20 times of your annual expenses. Minimum 20 times. Your annual expenses at that time will be 25 lakhs. Multiplied by 20. Shashidhara sir, what it becomes? 5 crore rupees. So only for retirement, you will need not less than 5 crore rupees. And that is a conservative retirement corpus, my dear friend. Ideally, it should be 30 times, means 7.50 crores. Now I want to make you scary, Shashidhara sir. For a moment, take the total of the last column. Make the total of the last column and you will be surprised. A normal middle class, salary class person, Anita ma'am, who is around 30 today, will need not less than 10 to 12 crore rupees only for their milestones. Not less than 10 to 12 crore rupees for their milestone. And my dear friend, I have not included your regular expenses from 30 year to 60 year monthly expenses. That I have not included. From where 10 to 12 crore rupees will come, my dear friend? I know Shashidhara is a very lucky guy. He will go to the KBC Amitabh Bachchan show starting very soon and he will win 7 crore rupees. But what about the others? There are lakhs of other young people like him. What about the others? From where they will get 10 to 12 crore rupees for their milestones only? Yes, now I want to give the confidence to all of them. You all can have 10 to 12 crore rupees, my dear friends, provided you start working seriously right from today about your saving and investments. Please make aware, please be alert. Not a single month should be wasted now. You should be very, very attentive and alert and save as much as you can and invest your savings into the best available product, earning some real return on your investment. Then all you will have 10 to 12 crore in your life. And Mr. Shashidhara sir, the chart which we have just prepared, Anita ma'am, first column, second column and third column, my dear friend, it is called financial plan. It is called financial plan. And Anita ma'am, I keep emphasizing in my session, telling young people, every family must have their financial plan. Every family. And it is not a rocket science, damn easy thing. Sit to your family, discuss everything with your family and make this chart. Because once chart is there, financial plan is in place, Anita ma'am, then targets are by and large clear before you. How much money you will need at what time. And once the targets are clear, psychologists say that people start work very harder and sincerely. That is why the importance of having a financial plan in your life. Please do develop a financial plan and then start working according to their financial plan. And last thing about the investment I want to tell is, and that is eighth wonder of the world, Mr. Shashidhara, that is rule of compounding. Rule of compounding is eighth wonder of the world, my dear friend. It's a magic. And what is rule of compounding in investment, Mr. Shashidhara? Simply speaking, you have to make a promise with yourself. One promise you have to make with yourself. Very tough promise, my dear friend, but very important promise. What is promise? Anita ma'am, he has to make a promise with himself, that whenever and whatever income or return I will get on my investment, I again repeat, whenever and whatever return or income I will get on my investment in future, I will never use that return or income for my personal consumption or for my celebration or for my vacation. What I will simply do, I will simply club that return with my regular investment which I am doing and reinvest. It is a tough task, my dear, but you have to avoid. You have to make this discipline, and you have to make this promise, taking your family into confidence, that I will never use my return. Because return or income may be 5,000 or maybe 5 lakhs down the line. But Mr. Shashidhara, it will be very tough when you will get a return of 5 lakhs on your investment. Whole family will be behind you. Are Baba, go on vacation, have some celebration. Definitely, that is natural. But no, you have to be very particular. No, never. Whatever income or return I will earn on my investment, I will simply club with my regular investment and reinvestment. And my dear friend, if you do it for 10, 15, 20 years, a magic will happen. Your return and income portion, Nita ma'am, will be much more bigger than your original investment. But that will happen with Mr. Shashidhara, not today, not tomorrow, but after 15, 20 years. So investment, otherwise what conveys is, investment requires your patience. Investment is not a fast lane. It is a slow lane. Please give time your investment to grow. Please give your time investment to generate more and more return for you. And after 15, 20 years, if you follow rule of compounding, then my dear friend, rest assured, you will be happily surprised that your income and return portion has become much bigger than your original investment. So please do practice rule of compounding in your life. So far what we have discussed about the security angle of our life, ma'am. Then we have discussed about the regular savings. Then we have discussed conversion of savings into investment. Then we have discussed real return on investment. Then we have discussed about the financial plan. Then we have discussed about the rule of compounding. All these things, and sorry ma'am, I have taken much of your time in these basic things, but I feel personally that these are the most important thing to understand before embarking upon the journey of investment success. It is a must to understand all these concepts. Now, last 15-20 minutes, we will discuss about the products which are available for the middle class, salary class person. And that is equally important, ma'am, you will appreciate. We should understand and we should know what are the products available for the middle class, salary class person for investment. The first and foremost product category, my dear participant, is Mr. Shashidhara, governmental small saving scheme. And through you, don't feel that I'm addressing to Shashidhara only, to all young participants like you. Governmental small schemes are there. And the first and foremost scheme, and I know Anita ma'am must have that account in that scheme. The first and foremost is Public Provident Fund Account, PPF. My dear young participant, Shashidhara, if you have not opened PPF account so far, you have missed something. Open it this month itself. July should not go. You must have PPF account in July itself. And you can open this account in any of the bank or post offices. Most of the banks are operating your PPF account. That is a government scheme, but most of the banks are also operating this scheme. PPF account is a 15-year account, 15-year PPF account. But Anita ma'am, you might be aware, you can extend this beyond 15 years as well. For every 5-year period, you can keep extending it. Minimum amount you can deposit in PPF account annually is 500 rupees only. Maximum amount, my dear Shashidhara, is 1.50 lakhs. And income tax deduction under section 80C is also allowed for this deposit in PPF account. Even today, 7.10% interest is credited annually in PPF account on your deposits, on your accumulations, which is compounding every year. And Anita ma'am, you must be known, it is a triple E scheme, triple E, exempt, no tax at all, no tax at any level. And Mr. Shashidhara, per chance, when you get married after 2 years, legally you can open an account in your wife's name as well, even when she is not working. Legally, I am telling, not, because it is exempt scheme. And I personally feel both husband and wife must have PPF account, even when they are not working. One of them is not working. Two very small thing about PPF account, Anita ma'am, you must be knowing. Please try to deposit maximum limit of 1.50 lakhs in PPF account at the beginning of the financial year itself. That is before 5th of April. Because financial year, Mrs. Shashidhara, you know, start at 1st April. So ideally speaking, if possible, please deposit 1.50 lakhs before 5th of April in one lump sum. Because in that scenario, you will get interest for the whole year. But per chance, if you are not able to deposit 1.50 lakhs, then you can deposit in tranche. But whenever you deposit, please make sure that you deposit this amount before 5th of the month. Because ma'am, if you deposit after 5th of the month, interest will not be credited your account in that for that month. And for a longer period of 15-20 years, it will make a difference of thousands of rupees. So please be particular, open a PPF account, try to deposit maximum limit of 1.50 lakhs every year. And try to extend it every 5-year period after 15 years. Don't close this account unless and until you need money, because it is a very good account. Then after that, National Saving Certificate is the second scheme of the Government of India, NSC, where you get reasonable return 6.9% even today. Then I don't have time, so I will not give details of each and every scheme. If you are interested, you can get the details from on your websites, governmental websites. Third scheme is Kisan Vikas Patra. Kisan Vikas Patra is also relatively a reasonable scheme, Government of India. And one more unique scheme, my dear participant, those who have girl child at home, Anita ma'am, those who are young, and if their girl child is below 10 years, the condition is below 10 years, then a very unique Government of India scheme is there for their girl child, for their education and for their marriage. That is called Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. You must open their account under this scheme. And ma'am, government has assured that they will always give highest return under this scheme. And even today, Mr. Shashidhara, I know you are not still married, but if your younger or elder brother is married, your elder sister is married, and if they have young children, young girl children at home, they must open their account in Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. And even today, the rate of interest in that scheme is 8.40%, which is not available in any governmental scheme. So please do open a Sukanya Samriddhi scheme, those who have girl child in their family below 10 years. Maximum limit again there is 1.50 lakhs and minimum is 250 rupees per year. And at the age of 60 of the girl can withdraw 50% of that amount for their higher education. And after 21 years, she can withdraw the whole amount for her marriage. So that is a unique scheme. I thought I should mention that as well. After that, RBI also keep issuing bonds to the public, taxable bond and tax-free bonds. And even today, RBI floating rate taxable bond, ma'am, carries interest rate of 7.15%, which is not a bad return. Then banks and post offices have also got some saving schemes. You please get on their websites. Lastly, government has started a new channel for raising loan for public sector undertakings. And that channel name is Bharat Bond 1 and Bharat Bond 2. Bharat Bond 1 and Bharat Bond 2, where you can invest. All these schemes which we have just discussed, Mr. Shashidhara, is under the umbrella of governmental small saving scheme. And Anita ma'am, I personally feel that a normal middle class, salary class person should invest 15 to 20% of their total investment into governmental scheme. Because that may not carry extraordinary return, but it comes without any risk. These are all risk-free schemes, no risk at all. Whatever government promises, government will give you interest or income, whatever it is. When the scheme matures, government will give you maturity amount. So please do consider investing 15 to 20% of your total investment into governmental scheme. Next, all other investment products have got some risk. Please do understand. All others, except governmental scheme. But before that, I just asked Mr. Shashidhara to a very simple question. Have you ever seen the horses race on the TV? कभी आपने घोड़ों की रेस देखी है टीवी पर? या कभी आपने फिजिकली भी कभी देखी होगी आपने? It is a game of rich person, honestly speaking. लेकिन इसका एक golden rule है. You must understand that golden rule. And that golden rule is, never put your all money or all your bet on a single horse. Never. Because if that horse doesn't perform, your all money gone. But the golden rule is, try to spread your money on different horses. कुछ पैसा सब घोड़ों पर लगाइए. यही बात इन्वेस्टमेंट पर भी लागू होती है, my dear friend. The same rule applies for your investment also. Try to develop a basket of investment. एक इन्वेस्टमेंट की बास्केट बनाइए जिसमें डिफरेंट प्रोडक्ट्स हो. कुछ गवर्नमेंट की स्कीम भी हो, कुछ और भी स्कीम हो. Try to develop a basket of investment. The second product for the investment for middle class, salary class person, Anita ma'am, is real estate or property, where we can invest. But please do understand, Mr. Shashidhara, real estate and property has got risk. How much amount you return you will get? Not certain. Would you be able to sell the property when you need the money? Not certain. Maintenance cost of the property, again, a very important factor we should look at. And lastly, for real estate, Anita ma'am, you will appreciate, we will need huge money to invest. We can't invest in property by 5 lakh or 10 lakh. We will need 50 lakhs, 70 lakhs, 1 crore, 2 crore to enter into the real estate and property market. So this is the product available to you. Risk is there. How much you should invest? Anita ma'am will tell you better, because I am not an expert on this line. Anita ma'am might be knowing better on these aspects, but this product is available for you. Third product available for us, Anita ma'am, and I know you will smile on this product. And not only you, all female participants who have joined this program, if they can open their video, I can see their faces. They will all smile. Gold. Gold is the product available for a middle class, salary class person. And Anita ma'am, historically, middle class, salary class person have treated gold as a safety valve for us. It is a safety valve. It is not an investment basically. It is a safety valve. And Anita ma'am, we all know that at the time of marriage of our daughters, we do give them gold jewelry particularly. Why we give? Mr. Siddharth, Shashidhara, have you ever thought of it? There is a very deep-rooted thinking in it. We give gold jewelry to our daughters at the time of marriage with the thinking that in case some problem happens in their life in future, at least they can come out of that problem partially or some percentage. by mortgaging or selling the gold or the jewelry. That's the purpose of giving gold to the daughters. And historically, Anita ma'am, we have been investing in gold only in physical form. That is those jewelry and biscuits. But now time is changing, my dear participants. Now you can invest in gold through digital form as well as without even acquiring gold, physical gold. And for that, Anita ma'am, a very unique and very good government of India scheme is on. Mr. Sunil sir, Sunil Mohite sir, please tell this to your wife when you go home today. And the scheme name is Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. Sovereign Gold. Mr. Shashidhara, you also please note down, tell your mother when you go home today. Mother and your sister-in-law, even your elder sister. Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme is a scheme of the government of India. And it is a very good scheme where government of India is offering you to invest. The price of the gold is decided by the government per tranche, and minimum amount you can invest in this scheme, Anita ma'am, is 1 gram gold price. And maximum limit, Mr. Sunil Mohite, is 4 kg gold. You can invest up to 4 kg gold. Government of India is giving you 2 benefits under this scheme, Mr. Sunil. First is government is giving you 2.5% annual interest. Whatever amount you invest, you will get 2.5% guaranteed interest on it. Second benefit is, Anita ma'am, whatever the appreciation of the gold price, the scheme is for 8 years, which is Shashidhara. Suppose today gold price government decided 50,000. After 8 years, suppose the price becomes 80,000 per 10 gram. Then the difference between 80,000 and 50,000, that is 30,000, will also be given to you. So there are 2 benefits. One is guaranteed interest plus appreciation in the gold price will also be shared with you. And government is encouraging digital investment, Anita ma'am. So if you invest in this scheme online, then you will also get 50 rupees discount of the gold price. That additional benefit you will also get if you go invest in digital form. And this scheme is for 8 years. And if you remain in the scheme for 8 years, Anita ma'am, then your tax liability will literally be zero. Literally be zero. No tax liability or very minimum tax liability. But if you want to come out the scheme before 8 years, say after 3 or 4 years, then some tax liability will also accrue on it. So please do get the detail of the governmental this sovereign gold bond, and young female participants, I will encourage them to invest in that scheme. Of course, Anita ma'am can also invest. I am not limited to young female participants only. All can invest. Fourth product available in the market for our investment security, Anita ma'am, is security market, share bazaar. But Mr. Mohite, when I start talking about the share bazaar, there are messages in the chat box coming, start powering in. Sir, don't talk about share bazaar. Yes, satta bazari hai, it is sheer speculation. Anita ma'am might have invested some money on the advice of some friend or some agent, and she might have lost some money. So now she is very particular and very clear. She will not invest any money in security market. There might be a case of this. And you are right, ma'am, because I want to tell my dear participants that share market is a purely knowledge-based market. Purely knowledge-based market, Mr. Mohite. And those who don't have knowledge of the market, I personally feel should not invest into the market directly. This is I don't know whether what perception Anita ma'am has got about security market, but my opinion is that unless and until you have knowledge of the market, you must not invest directly into the security market.
I completely agree with you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
There should be some advisor.
Absolutely, ma'am. And again, but there is an indirect way of investing into security market. Indirect way. And ma'am, I don't have time. Next time, when you give me time, we will have a technical session for your staff member and students on the security market as a whole. Then we will discuss in detail about the direct, indirect, primary market, secondary market, SEBI, NSE, BSE, trading, how it runs. All these things we will discuss because that will require minimum 2 hour session. So next time we will take it at one mutual convenience if you are interested. So there is an indirect way of investing in the security market, and that indirect way, Mohite sir, is called mutual fund. It is called mutual fund. Mutual fund is Mr. Shashidhara, now I will focus on you. Not only you, but all young participants. So my dear friends, mutual fund is an indirect way of investing into security market. But Anita ma'am, most of the people have got a different perception that mutual fund also security market. I don't know whether Mr. Mohit has the same perception. But my dear sir, for your information, I want to tell you that mutual fund is not security market only. Mutual fund is beyond security market also. Mr. Mohit, in mutual fund, there are schemes where your money will be invested into governmental securities. Governmental scheme. In mutual fund, Anita ma'am, there are schemes where your money will be invested into property and real estate even. In mutual fund, my dear Mr. Shashidhara, there are schemes where your money will be invested into gold, even into commodities market. But of course, it is a fact, Mr. Mohite, that 95% of the mutual fund scheme relate to security market only. That is also a fact. And in mutual fund, there are schemes, Mohita ma'am, Anita ma'am, where you can invest in Google, Amazon, Facebook, Apple sitting at your home. That facility mutual fund also gives you. Sitting at your home, you can be a partner of the big international corporates through investing into international funds of mutual funds. But mutual funds, majority of the scheme relate to security market. There are 3 broad categories of mutual funds as far as security market is concerned, Anita ma'am. The first category is equity fund. And Mr. Shashidhara, it more relates to you. In equity fund, your savings will be invested into the equity share of the corporates. Please do understand it. And when your savings are invested into equity fund, my dear friend, prices of equity fund, ma'am, shares, we all know, goes up and down every time. So risk is greater. So those who can take high risk, like Mr. Shashidhara and all young participants, equity fund is reasonably suitable for them. So first, equity fund is suitable for the young participant who can take high risk. And secondly, your time horizon is also longer, minimum 5 years. Minimum, ma'am, I am telling you, maybe more than 5, 10, 15 years. That luxury I don't have. I can't invest my money for more than 5 or 10 years. So mutual fund might not be suitable for me, but for young people, those who are 30, 35, 40, 45 even, they should think of investing their savings into equity fund. There, the risk is greater, but again, Mr. Shashidhara, probability of getting higher return is also there. Probability, no guarantee at all. Please mind it very carefully. There is no guarantee in mutual fund. If somebody is giving you guarantee, then his statement is not true at all. Probability. And ma'am, you will appreciate there is a basic rule of economics. More risk, more reward. If you go for high risk, then there is a probability of getting higher return, but again, there is no guarantee that you will get higher return, but probability increases. So equity fund is suitable for the young participants, for the young people who can take high risk, reasonably high risk, and who can invest for the longer period. Second category, Anita ma'am, in mutual fund is debt fund, DEBT debt fund. And Anita ma'am, debt fund is basically more suitable for people like you and me. In debt fund, your savings will be given as a loan to the corporate. Please understand the difference. It will not be invested into equity shares. It will be given as a loan to the corporates. And when a loan is given, ma'am, rate of interest is mostly pre-decided. And even the redemption period is also decided, 3 year, 5, whatever it may be. So in debt fund, risk is relatively lesser. But Anita ma'am, return is also reasonable. It cannot be extraordinary return. So those who can aspire for higher return should go to the equity fund. And those who are satisfied with the reasonable return with lesser risk, that fund is relatively a better proposition for them. And the third category, my dear participant Shashidhara, is hybrid fund. And Anita ma'am, hybrid fund, typically speaking, dono haathon mein laddu. You wish to have relatively higher return, but at the same time don't want to take full risk. So in hybrid fund, Mr. Shashidhara, what typically happens, some of your savings will go to the equity fund and some of your saving will go to the debt fund. So at the one point you are aspiring for relatively higher return, and for the second part, you are safeguarding your risk as well. So hybrid fund is suitable for those persons who aspire for little bit higher return, but with content of having reasonable return. So hybrid fund is suitable for them. And there are two plans in the mutual fund. One is direct plan, another one is regular plan. And Mr. Shashidhara, in direct plan, you can visit the website of the mutual fund company, which is technically called AMC. Select the scheme, give the information online, including documents, attach your bank details, and you can invest online itself. This is called direct plan. But Anita ma'am, because of any reason, suppose you are not able to invest through direct plan, then other option is there, that is called regular plan. In regular plan, Anita ma'am, you can take the help of the local mutual fund distributor. They will come to you, they will bring the form, they will help you out in filling the form, get your documents, get your bank details, they will deposit your details with the AMC, and your investment will be mere operational. But definitely, my dear Mr. Shashidhara, they will get some commission or fees for this help. That is why, Anita ma'am, in regular plan, your return will always be lesser as compared to direct plan. Please understand it very carefully. In direct plan, your return will always be higher because there is no third person in between. But in regular plan, some fee or some commission will go to the agent. Definitely that will go out of your return or out of your investment. My dear, IPO, I don't have time. That is why I skipped that IPO. Next time when Anita ma'am will give us the time, we will discuss everything about the security market in detail. And that will be more a technical session. It will not be general investor awareness program. So regular plan and direct plan, both plans are available. Anita ma'am, now SEBI has given an option that once you start with the regular plan, if you are a new investor, but down the line after 3 or 4 years, you can switch from regular plan to direct plan. That facility is also now available to the investors. You can switch because you see that if you don't want to give now commission to the agent after 3-4 years, so you can switch from regular plan to direct plan. And there are two magic in the mutual funds, ma'am, which I want to elaborate and share with all of you. One magic, Mr. Shashidhara, for you, and second magic might be for Anita ma'am. The first magic is SIP, Systematic Investment Plan. My dear Shashidhara, listen it very carefully. It is for you and not you, all young participants. SIP is nothing but regularly investing a particular amount. And minimum amount, my dear friend, you can start investing it 500 rupees. And maximum, there is no limit. So you can start an SIP of 500 rupees. And one more thing, Anita ma'am, you can start SIP in any of the categories, maybe equity, maybe debt, maybe hybrid fund. In all categories of funds, you can start SIP. And SIP is nothing but a normal, it is just like a recurring account where we are depositing a particular amount every month. But my dear Shashidhara, SIP is a magic. And I am giving you one example. And in this example, Anita ma'am, I will not name the scheme. I will not name the AMC because that will be unfair on my part. But facts are there. Please do understand. Facts are there. Whatever I am sharing with you are facts. It is not a story. But I will not give the name of the scheme and equity fund or mutual fund because that will be unfair on my part. Please, Mr. Shashidhara, understand very carefully what I am saying now. In 1995, a mutual fund company, which is AMC, started an equity fund. And at that time, Dr. Anita was very young. She is still very young, but at that time, she was very young and she was very smart investor even at that time. She started an SIP of 10,000 rupees per month in that equity scheme. Again, my dear, please understand, 1995, she started 10,000 rupees SIP every month. And throughout that period from 1995 to 2022, Anita ma'am has been religiously investing 10,000 rupees every month through SIP in that scheme. That's the crux of success. Because ma'am, typically what happens, when market goes up, people start investing in mutual fund in security market. But when market goes down, people get scary. Arey baba, mujhe nuksan ho jayega, mera paisa kam ho jayega. They withdraw their money. They stop SIP. And that's the blunder they do. Anita ma'am, I want to tell all the participants, going up and down is the basic characteristic of the market. Market will always go up and down, always. Today market may be 53. A few months back it was at 62. And before that it went down at 30 even. Ma'am, you will remember at pandemic. In March 2020, market even touched 30. So my dear friend, market will always go up and down. But Anita ma'am was very particular. Whatever the level of the market, she was religiously every month putting 10,000 through SIP in that scheme. And I know Mr. Shashidhara, Anita ma'am will not tell you the corpus she has today in that scheme. I know. But ma'am, kindly permit me to disclose that figure for the knowledge of the participants. My dear Shashidhara, Anita ma'am has got now a corpus of 9.57 crore in that scheme. But 2-3 things you must understand. I again emphasize. Continuously, religiously saving a small amount even. Not 10,000, maybe 1,000 even. Start as early as you can and continue it for 10, 15, 20, 25 years. Magic will happen, not today. It will take time, my dear friends. Secondly, now, Mr. Shashidhara, I know a lot of my friends who has got more than one SIP. And that is target-oriented SIP. One SIP for marriage after 2 years. One SIP for purchase of the house after 5 years. Third SIP for vacation. Fourth SIP for higher education of the children, which are even when you are not married yet. But you have started a SIP for higher education children happening after 25 years. And fifth SIP for your retirement life. So you can have more than one SIP, my dear friend. And now lot of my friends have started more than one SIP. And Anita ma'am, nowadays top-up facility in SIP is also available. Suppose Mr. Shashidhara, you start with 1,000 SIP this year. You can give mandate right from today that next year, after 1 year, that SIP will increase from 1,000 to 1,500. That mandate you can also give today. So top-up facility in SIP is also available. So please do consider starting an SIP rather more than, and Anita ma'am, even I will encourage your students to start an SIP of 500 rupees out of their pocket money. Because by that time they start earning down the line in 2, 3, 4 years, they will have fair idea about how mutual fund functions, how the returns are generated, all these things. So even students can start thinking of having a SIP of 500 rupees. So SIP is a magic for the middle class, salary class person. But again, 2, 3 preconditions are there, which Anita ma'am did. Regularly investing, come what may. Investing for the longer period. That is the second issue. Other magic of the mutual fund, Anita ma'am, is SWP, Systematic Withdrawal Plan. Mr. Siddhartha, in SIP, we were regularly investing, whatever the amount may be. Anita ma'am, in SWP, we are regularly withdrawing a particular amount. And basically, that is meant, Anita ma'am, for your retirement life. This SW facility is beneficial for your retirement. Suppose, Mr. Shishidhara, you have been very smart and you have accumulated a corpus of 5 crore rupees for your retirement. And after 30 years, you are going to retire after 30 years. You don't have any pension like me and Anita ma'am. So definitely you will need some money to enjoy your life, around 20 lakhs or 2 lakhs per month. From where that money will come. Mutual fund also give you benefit. When you retire, Anita ma'am, you simply write to them. One liner mail will do that from next month onwards, please keep transferring a particular amount, whatever, maybe 50,000, maybe 1 lakh, maybe 2 lakh, whatever you want, from my corpus to my bank account on first. And they will do it. Ultimately, it is your money only. They will do it. But the benefit will be that Mr. Sridhara will have 2 lakh rupees in his bank account on first itself, like salary. So he will continue to enjoy life which was he enjoying earlier when he was getting salary. And second benefit is your remaining corpus with them after withdrawing 2 lakhs, Anita ma'am, in the first month is continuously invested. So you are continuously generating return on your corpus. So down the line, after 10 years, suppose your need increases from 2 lakh to 3 lakh per month. That will also be taken care of by the money you have generated. So SWP is a proposition which we can use and get benefit of. But again, precondition is very clear. You have to develop a huge corpus for that. Time doesn't permit me to continue it. But last 2 things I want to tell all the participants, Anita ma'am. The first thing, and I want your blessings also, ma'am, for this. In our country, there is a meanness, deep meanness, and that is Ponzi scheme, chit fund, and committees. People come to the promise you and giving you 15-20% return, doubling your money in 3 and 4 years. This incentive, that benefit, all this is fraud. My dear participant, please do understand this is all fraud. They are fraudsters. I'm using very harsh word ma'am for them, but it has to be used. And I know, Anita ma'am, most of the literate person will not invest it. Who are investing in those fraud schemes? Or segment of the society who are not so educated. Your peon, your driver, your milk vendor, your taxi wala, your auto wala, your rickshaw wala, your plumber, your electrician, they come under temptation of getting higher return, which they will never get. But they go under the temptation of getting higher return, they do invest their hard-earned money and they lose their money. They are bound to lose their money because there is no proposition. So, ma'am, Anita ma'am, it is your social responsibility to all of us, those who are educated. Please come forward and try to educate as much people as you can around you. They should never invest their hard-earned money in such Ponzi bogus scheme, Anita ma'am, and just tell them, don't bother if you don't have any knowledge of any other scheme. please put your money in bank and post offices. At least their money will be safe. Return may be very marginal, but at least their money will be safe. They will not lose their money in fraud scheme. And this is our social responsibility. Anita ma'am, please spread this message as much people as we can. And not only you, ma'am, through your faculty members and staff member in your city around you. Last thing I want to request all the participants with giving you confidence to all of you. Mr. Shashidhara, can you open your video now? Only last 1 minute.
Sure, sir.
This I am not telling you. Anita ma'am is telling you. Prosperity is my right. Every person, every participant must pronounce this with confidence. Anita ma'am, prosperity is my right. It is not a begging somebody will give us. Prosperity is our right. I might have sometime born into a poor family. It might have happened, Mrs. Shashidhara. I might have born into a poor family. Birth in a poor family, Anita ma'am, is not a curse at all. Not a curse at all. But living as poor and die as poor is a curse, which we all can take care of by taking care of our money right from the day we start earning. Thank you very much. You all be prosper. This is I will pray Almighty for all of you. Thank you very much, Anita ma'am, for staying in this session in the whole session and giving me time.
Sir.
God bless. Thank you, ma'am.
It was very interesting. Thank you very much for sharing your knowledge. Ratan Tata keeps on telling the last words which you have uttered, sir.
Thank you.
You should never die as poor. You might have born as poor, but you should never die as poor.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. It was very nice. And definitely we will arrange for some more lectures because our students who are into finance require much more knowledge in investment scenario and all. Definitely we will.
We will definitely do it. Now, any question from any participant, please come forward, raise your hands and ask the question. Somebody has raised the hand in between. Please come forward now. Ask any question.
Some Nazir Saba.
Yeah.
He had raised his hand.
Yes, my dear participant. No question, surprisingly.
So one more interesting investment plan in government bond is PLI, Postal Life Insurance.
Postal Life Insurance. Ma'am, but that is limited to governmental schemes only,
Yes.
government employees only,
Yeah.
and public sector undertakings only.
Yes.
Basically, ma'am, insurance is not an investment.
Yes.
This people should understand, particularly young people.
Yes, it's a saving.
Keep investment separately, in insurance separately. Both are essential for our prosperity and security. Both are essential, but keep it separate. Don't mix it. Yeah, Vivek, please unmute yourself. Mr. Vivek, unmute yourself.
Hi, sir. I am Vivek from Hiriyur, sir.
Yeah.
I am studying at HPPC College, Chelkere.
Okay.
Sir, I have invested in Corona time 2020 in Nippon India Direct Fund, sir. It has given around 35.3% annual returns. It has not question, it is suggestion, sir, for any participants.
My dear,
comparing to another investment, a mutual fund is the best investment for growing money in equity or hybrid funds.
No, this is your opinion. I respect your opinion, but at the beginning itself, I had told Anita ma'am that this is not a marketing event of mutual fund. But of course, mutual fund is one of the best products available for the middle class, salary class person, and that too through SIP.
Yes.
That through SIP is one of the unique proposition. And Mr. Vivek, congratulations, you have earned a very handsome return in your fund, and keep doing it, and do it for the longer period.
Yes, sir.
Don't be a short-term investor. I don't keep advising middle class, salary class person, Anita ma'am. Always be a long-term investor.
Yes.
Magic will happen. And Anita ma'am, one more thing I want to tell to participants. I don't know whether you will agree with me or not. I personally feel, Mr. Vivek, you too, next 25 years, Anita ma'am, is going to be golden period of Indian economy. I personally feel. But who will get benefit out of this golden period? Only those who are investors. So please be investor. That is the precondition of your prosperity, that you have to be an investor. Yeah, next question from any other person? Any question from any participants, or should we close it?
Sir, I have one doubt here.
Yeah.
Sir, if I want to make an investment, that too through the online, so is there any necessity to open the demat account, which was earlier?
No. As far as mutual fund investments are concerned, my dear Mr. Shashidhara, demat account is not mandatory, but you can shift your mutual fund investment in demat account too. But it is not mandatory. For trading or for purchasing of shares, demat account is a must. For mutual fund investment, it is optional. You can have it, you cannot have it.
Thank you.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
I am Shakti from Anna Others College for Women.
Yeah.
Sir, after the corona, we will invest to the mutual fund. Is the investor point of view, it's a benefited, sir?
Definitely, ma'am. Corona or no corona.
Some people, sir, know that as a share market, mutual fund, it's very inflation in the money investment, no, sir. So that I asked the question.
Ma'am, I don't know your age, and rather I am not interested to know your age. But if you are a young one, I want to request you, advise you, please start investing in mutual fund for the longer period.
Okay. Which is a fund is the best, sir? Which fund is the best? In Franklin Templeton?
Ma'am, honestly, that is my limitation. I can't tell you, advise you.
Which company is Franklin Templeton?
Again, no company I can market. That will be unfair on my part.
But we will invest to this mutual fund is the best one.
No, definitely. But one thing indirectly I can tell you. You please note down, and all the participants, please note it down. Okay. Don't be in haste, don't be in hurry in investing in mutual fund. First, get some basic knowledge about the mutual fund. And for that, I am suggesting 3-4 good websites. Please note it down. Shakti ma'am.
It means a systematic investment plan, the same as RD investments, no? Sir, some monthly investment.
Yeah, monthly.
So minimum 5. Yeah, minimum 500 then.
Yeah. You please note down 3-4 good websites on the note it down. Please spare some time and study the material available on those websites. First website is Amfi website.
Amfi. Okay,
AMFI website. It has got a lot of material on about the mutual fund, including some smaller videos, short videos. You see the videos, you will get the better idea. Second one is.
Okay. So now the STT is also tax collected, also the security transaction tax, the mutual fund. No.
Yeah. Once transaction is there, that is a mandatory. It is a legal, na. When transaction is there, definitely it will be collected. Second website is money control.
Okay, sir.
Third website is value research.
Value research, sir. It's a value
research. Value research. Definitely value research. So these are all, there are otherwise hundreds of websites available. Please do spare your time. It is your money, please. Ma'am, it is your money. You should not even take my advice. Adhere to my advice, you should. But before you start investing, you should spare minimum 1 to 2 months studying material as much as you can. Then you will have fair idea about the investment, including SIP. Okay.
Thank you so much for giving the wonderful opportunity, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Anish Goel.
हेलो, गुड आफ्टरनून सर.
गुड आफ्टरनून माय डियर.
सर, मुझे ये पूछना था कि जो एसजीपीज हैं उनमें वो ट्रिपल ई कैटेगरी में आते हैं या नहीं?
सब तो नहीं आते, लेकिन कुछ आते हैं. अब इसका तो यही जनरल आंसर हो सकता है.
मतलब एसजीपीज भी अलग अलग होते हैं?
हाँ, नेचुरली ना.
ओके, तो कौन से होते हैं सर वो जो ट्रिपल ई कैटेगरी में आते हैं?
देखिए, वो तो आपको रेटिंग जो मिलती है ना, वो आपको रेटिंग देखनी पड़ेगी उनकी. मैं कोई एक्सेक्ट डेफिनेशन आपको नहीं दे सकता कि उस कैटेगरी ये होता है। आपको उनकी जिसको आप देख रहे हैं उसकी रेटिंग आपको मिलेगी उस पे, that you can make out of it. And rating is only one of the broad criteria about the strength and soundness of the scheme. Only broad, मतलब not guaranteed, very honestly speaking. क्योंकि ऐसा हुआ है, आपको पता है, मैं नाम नहीं लूंगा अभी, पिछले साल एक किसी बहुत बड़ी कंपनी को AAA रेटिंग मिलती थी, अचानक वो बैंकरप्ट हो गई।
नहीं सर, AAA रेटिंग नहीं सर, EEE कैटेगरी, एग्जाम्प्ट
एग्जाम में सिर्फ PPF है माय डियर, सिर्फ PPF, और कोई AAA एग्जाम नहीं है।
ओके सर,
सिर्फ PPF है। PPF is a unique scheme, Anita ma'am, which has got EEE status, exempt, no tax at any time while earning interest, while withdrawing interest, while maturing at the time of maturity, no tax at all, my dear. So PPF is a very good proposition.
ओके सर, थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you. और कोई any other question, or Mr. Shashidharan, we can wind it up now if there are no questions. And of course, Dr. Satyanarayana, I want your observation as well.
Satyanarayan.
Please unmute yourself.
Thank you very much, sir. Had a very good, wonderful presentation from your side. Sir, I have one doubt.
Yeah, please.
Especially related to this FD, the fixed deposit. So I came to know by managers when we are submitting that 15G and 15H, 15H for senior citizens and 15G for other than senior citizens. Can we get tax exemption from that?
Satyanarayana sir, tax exemption in that scenario is limited to your status. I am talking of the general thing. I am talking of the general proposition. But if you fall under a specific category of senior citizenship or whatever it is, then tax exemption will be allowed to you because of that category. Not general exemption not allowed. This I want to tell you.
Thank you, sir.
Being senior citizen, you definitely can avail not only FD, any other income, because your status is a peculiar one. But as a general investor, tax is applicable as per your tax law.
Fine, sir. Any questions from audience, participants?
Yeah. Hemandeep.
Hello.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon,
I'm
dear.
Hemandeep Singh.
Yeah.
Sir, thank you first of all for such a wonderful session. Sir, I have one question regarding PPF and debt fund. So, as a non-government employee, which is better option according to you? And as a government employee, which is better option from the point of view of real income?
My dear, for both
Thank
of
you.
them, PPF and mutual fund both are very good propositions. PPF भी जरूर होना चाहिए, म्यूचुअल फंड में इन्वेस्टमेंट भी जरूर होना चाहिए, दोनों अलग अलग हैं लेकिन दोनों जरूरी है। आप कंपैरिजन मत करो इनका। पीपीएफ में आपको जो गारंटी मिलती है विदाउट कोई रिस्क नहीं है, फिर भी रीजनेबल रिटर्न है, कोई टैक्स नहीं लगता है। लेकिन जब आप दूसरी बात कर रहे हैं म्यूचुअल फंड में, वह थोड़ा रिस्क है लेकिन वहां रिवार्ड ज्यादा है। अनिता मैम, for your information, most of the equity funds, most of them, last 10 years, they have given average annual return of around 15%. A majority of them, not all, but a very good number of equity funds have given 15% average annual return, which is not a bad return at all, which is rather more than a reasonable return.
Sir, I'm talking about debt fund only.
Debt fund, my dear, देखिए मैम, डेट फंड अलग प्रोपोजिशन है। डेट फंड में क्या है, आपको अगर 3 साल के आप डेट फंड में इन्वेस्टेड रहते हैं अनिता मैम, तो आपको इंडेक्सेशन का बेनिफिट आपको मिलता है। that is peculiar only to debt fund, that too when you keep invested for more than 3 years. और इंडेक्सेशन का बेनिफिट ये होता है अनीता मैम कि मान लीजिए डेट फंड ने आपको 8% का रिटर्न एनुअल दिया मैनुअल, तो इन 3 years you get the return of 24%, 8 multiplied by 3, and during that 3 years suppose the inflation rate has been 5%, so 5% in multiplied by 3 into 15%. So in indexation benefit, what typically happens, out of 25%, 15% will be deducted, and tax liability will accrue only on 9%. That is a unique proposition because your inflation is being taken care, but that is limited to debt fund only, ma'am. And that too when you keep invested for more than 3 years, not less than that. Yes, Hardeep Singh, और कुछ आपको पूछना है? Okay, Satyanarayana sir, now can we wind it up?
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
Good
so much.
afternoon, all.
This session is hand over to.
Really, it was an informative session, and on behalf of the participants, on behalf of the department, as well as my personal own behalf, I thank you for your wonderful and excellent session, sir. Definitely, we will take some inputs from your side for our personal financial planning in coming days, sir. Definitely, right? We will try to pick some best investment avenues, sir. On your suggestions, on your kind of deliberations, what you given for the session. Thank you so much, sir. Now I request Ms. Usha, Assistant Professor, Department of Studies in Commerce, to give the vote of thanks to the dignitaries.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, all. It's my pleasure and opportunity to express my gratitude on this program. On behalf of the Department of Studies in Commerce, Devangree University, I would like to thank today's chief guest, Dr. Anita H.S., Professor and Register Evaluation, Devangree University, Devangree, for your valuable presence, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
So now I would like to extend my gratitude to Shri Suryakant Sharma, Senior Consultant, AMFI, for your thought-provoking and interesting address on the topic, personal financial planning and wealth creation through mutual funds. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I thank Dr. Satyanarayana, Chairman, Department of Studies in Commerce, Devangree University, for organizing this webinar. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Finally, I would like to thank all faculty members, participants, and students for enriching this webinar. Once again, I thank you one and all for your attention. Thank you.
Usha ma'am, on my behalf and on behalf of Amfi, I am thankful to all of you, particularly Dr. Satyanarayana, for giving me opportunity to interact with all of you, and with the gracious presence of Dr. Anita ma'am, I am thankful to you as well.
Thank you,
And we will definitely be in touch, and rather I would be more than happy to come to your campus physically as well.
Yes.
Very shortly, mutually we will decide, and we will keep doing such academic and professional activities for the benefit of students and your faculty members as well. So I'm thankful to all of you, and of course, the special thanks goes to Mr. Sabjar Ahmed for coordinating this event with the university. Mr.